I've been fighting through grip after grip, trying to find you the best ones. And Stuart on Discord told me about this set. I paid $15 on Amazon for them. Let's check them out. Easiest unboxing ever. HCHRVR, something like that. Probably some dropship crap, doesn't have any of their labeling on it, but hey. Set of grips that replaces your battery doors, like these. More of a pleather style hand strap, a plastic mount that goes into the bottom. I will say right out the gate at $15, they feel cheaper than some of the other $15 ones. But Stuart was curious about these, wondering, do they work with the dock? Do they feel good? Do I like them? Since they're $15, I think I'm gonna compare them more side by side with the Meta grips, because these are $40. So these should be in a class of their own. So installation process. Normally you would have pulled your wrist strap out after taking your battery door off. This is just a plastic chunk here. I'm a little concerned about the longevity on that, but we'll try not to break it immediately. Goes in like your normal battery door. It fits a little bit more perfectly as a battery door. You can see that it's not exactly the same plastic. You can feel it feels a little different, but the seam stays nice. So that's my one qualm with my main set I use, the Apex. The seam isn't quite as perfect. If you push on it, it looks a little better, holds a little tighter. This one, the seam is real nice. It's got this hand pad here. It's a little cushy if you squish on it, so it's supposed to be a little bit more comfortable. At least from the start, I will tell you, that's where the comfort runs out. The pleather part on your hand does not feel great. It feels very hard and stiff. That could get better over time, you know, there's a lot of things in life made of real leather, or what this is probably pleather, that break down and get a little bit nicer on you. It's not the part that's actually making them the most uncomfortable. It's the layers of Velcro that are making this feel like a much more solid structure on the back of my hand that's making the whole thing feel less comfortable. That inner hand pad is kind of nice. It conforms a bit to the inside of your hand, but already you can feel it starting to retain heat from your hands. So you're probably gonna have warmer hands, sweatier hands, where with just the plastic that I've gotten used to, you'd notice it dissipates the heat a little bit. It doesn't like to retain it as much. The strap not being flexible or stretchy like these ones does come with the trade-off though, if that thing feels solid. It feels like there's no flex to it, there's nothing. So if you really liked your controllers never feeling like they were moving anywhere, it is on my hand and it is not going anywhere. I really wish they had just used metal here instead of plastic, because a plastic clip there, I mean, it's pretty strong. It's not snapping immediately on me. It's got enough flexibility that I can bend it a little bit and not break it, but ultimately plastic just feels like it's not gonna last as long. So it's mounted here with a glue adhesive. There's a hole for the plastic that's sticking through there, but that's nothing to do with mounting. It's literally just a plastic piece. I feel confident that in playing with these would stay if you weren't trying actively to break them like I kind of am messing with now, but definitely over time that glue might break down a little bit, but I am pulling on it. You shouldn't ever do that. And having it in the controller should be putting pressure on here that would then help that stay in place. So it does lock solid when you close it. It's not wanting to come back off even if I pull directly on it. Official MetaQuest charging dock test. It does seem like it's getting connected. I think that when you put it in, a push down would go a long ways because you can kind of seat it better if you push it down. But even with just kind of a basic drop-in test, it seems to be connecting, which shocked me because I thought these were going to be quite a problem. But that will require a few more throw-in, drop-in tests over time to see if it keeps on keeping on. Let's go play some games with them. The more time I spend with these grips, the less I like them. They're fine. They work, they do their job. If you had gotten these and you never had a set of grips before and you put these on your hands, you'd be like, oh, they're good. They stay here. I like how stable they are. The problem for me is comparing them to the other grips that I've been using, the ones that I'm used to. These feel soft on your hand. They hold onto your hand. Getting it in is a bit of a challenge. You gotta wiggle your hand in there because of how stiff these are. They've broken down probably a little bit with me playing on them, with me sweating on them, but ultimately they just still don't feel great. But what's really started to become the issue for me is I've noticed this edge now. The battery itself, edge is a little sharp. I feel that in my hand. And then the edge of this stuff that's just like stickied on here, you really feel it. I mean, obviously I'm ruining these right now. You don't try this at home. But as I pull this up, you know, the more sweat that's gotten in there over time, the grosser I feel it is. And the fact that the way it's like hooked on with this paper adhesive stuff, I just predict in time that's gonna come off and be gross. As sweat gets in there, as your hand oils get in there, this is not a substance I trust at all. Plastic like this, you're gonna feel a lot better over time. It's gonna stay cleaner, it's not gonna stink. So they're not terrible, but I'm not gonna leave a link because I don't recommend them. I'm still rocking my Apex Innos, which I think, at least for their low price point, are the best ones for budget. The Meta ones, as we talked about in the review, they're not my favorite and they cost too much money, but they do feel very great quality in comparison to this. These just at that $15, I mean, if these were like $6, I'd be like, take a risk on them if you really want to. But at 15 bucks, there's just better options. I say these are not the ones to go for. But what do you think? Did you come here because you found this video and you had these and you're loving them? Are you here because you're trying to find something better? Let me know in the comments. But for me, I just ruined them, so I spent 15 bucks for you to test them, and now they're useless. But thanks for being here with me anyways, and I will see you in another reality.